In Canada, 96% of trafficking victims are female. And today we're speaking with a survivor. When Michelle Fraguli was going through the growing pains of being a teen, struggling socially, she was groomed by her traffickers on social media. Well, today her strength is her story. Michelle is a survivor of domestic sex trafficking. She's a peer advocate and an outreach facilitator with Restoration's Second Stage Homes. And she joins us this morning. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you so much for having me.
Michelle, you were trafficked starting at the age of 15. How did it begin?
So it honestly began what it's called in the grooming stages. So my grooming stages was so typical of a normal teenager. I didn't even have Facebook myself, but my trafficking began on Facebook. It was a friend of mine who my traffickers had added on Facebook, and they began to speak over social media until phone numbers were exchanged. And they simply offered to pick us up and drive us home from the mall one Friday night after school. And this just didn't seem like a stranger danger type of situation at all. They drove a nice car, they were well dressed, and genuinely at 15 years old, I thought they were safe enough people. Instances like this went on for a period of about 2 months before any exploitation actually occurred. So these were my friends. I trusted them. They fulfilled a gap that I had in my life due to insecurities.
You told us that although your parents did eventually bring you to the police station, you were 18 at the time, you continued to be victimized. Why were you unable to find the proper help and resources that you needed?
So when I was 18 years old, my parents did bring me to the police station. They had about $50,000 stolen from their line of credit, which initiated them to know that something was wrong, in addition to my oddball behavior at the time. But at this time, they actually contacted their bank. The bank had surveillance videos of individuals taking money out of their account. We went to the police, and the police wanted to implicate me in that and actually charge me, which my mother just thought was preposterous, that she knew I was a victim of some sort of crime, but she didn't even have a name to it. That's really the reality of the situation. The police officers didn't do anything in malice. It was just human trafficking, and the awareness around it and the training was not widely spread at the time. And it took about 2 more years until I was actually able to get the help that I really did need.
It's why stories like yours are so important to be shared, and we want to thank you again for doing it. Trafficking, we know, is a business. According to Covenant House, traffickers can exploit victims for up to $280,000 a year off of one victim. So what are the signs to look out for if you suspect that someone could be trafficked? I know parents and friends are going to want to listen closely.
Yeah, especially for parents, that is, and educators as well. Any dramatic change in behavior, that's a huge red flag. If a child or youth has a second cell phone, if they're getting their hair and their nails done, if they're producing clothes and you're not understanding where they're getting the money to obtain these products, huge red flag. Change of social group, isolation within the household when they come back. My trafficking happened while I lived in my family home. I can't stress this enough. I went to my local high school and I lived in my family home. These red flags will happen right beneath your nose. So those are key things to look out for.
Michelle, I have to ask, while you were being trafficked and you were living at home and you were going to school, you must have felt so trapped. How did you get out?
Absolutely. It took me years to build the trust. I'm very grateful for my family. I have a very extremely supportive family. Without my family, I wouldn't be here. But it was actually a social service agency, Walk With Me Canada at the time, run by Tamia Nagy. She is really who I have to thank for getting me out. She was the first person that was able to put a name to what I was going through, and her own lived experience helped me connect with someone and trust somebody. I had no faith in the police, but thanks to her, I was able to get connected with the great resources. And like I said, I'm just forever grateful for my family as well. But it takes a whole community to help survivors of human trafficking, and we're seeing so much more progress these days. So we really need to focus on that and even get more resources available so victims can become survivors.
And you are paying it forward as well by coming on and sharing your story. We know it can be difficult to revisit those times. I want to thank you for sharing your story to help others.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.